Hi, I'm Alistair from Truckman. Today I'm going to show you how to fit a Steinbauer performance system to a Hilux Mk8. So let's see what's inside the box. The customer information pack, the module, and the wiring harness. You'll notice there are no fitting instructions in the box. This is because Steinbauer want the customer to have the most up-to-date technical information, therefore they're only available online. We'll start by removing the engine cover and I'll show you the general layout. Here's the general layout. We're going to connect the Steinbauer harness into the fuel injector connection points here, here, here and here, one on each of the injectors. We'll then bring the harness back along the vehicle wiring loom, which you can see here. We have another connector on the turbo boost sensor. Then we have a connector onto the battery live terminal, another one onto the body ground, and then finally we'll mount the module on top of the fuse box. Now we've routed the cable over the engine, we're going to go ahead and make the injector connections. We're going to connect the injectors, in this case, from front to back. So this is number 1, goes to number 1 on the engine, number 2 to number 2, and so on. So we're going to release the injector plug. That goes into the harness. And then the harness one goes on back onto the injector, like so. Make sure it clicks firmly in place. So this is this part of the harness in place. In order to prevent the harness moving around with engine vibration, we're going to cable tie it together. It's going to wrap a cable tie around. You see that's around the harness and the plug. And cable tie it in position so it's held. You just clip that off. And then we'll carry on and do that with all the rest of the injectors in line. Now the injectors are connected and cable tied firmly in place, we'll go ahead and connect the rest of the harness. Because we're going to mount the module on top of the fuse box here and the relay box, I'm going to bring the harness around the back so it follows the loom, and then we'll mount it on here. Now we've routed the harness around, I'm going to go ahead and connect the boost pressure sensor. It's labelled on the wire here. And that's connected in the same way as the injectors. We disconnect the plug on the sensor and we connect the harness with these two plugs. I'm going to cable tie this plug in place just the same way as we did with the injectors. With the boost pressure sensor connection in place, I'm going to cable tie the harness neatly onto the vehicle wiring loom, making sure it's kept away from any heat sources or moving parts. It's also worth mentioning that the sheathing used on the Steinbauer harness is heat resistant. Next up's going to be the live connection onto the battery. You see it's labelled here. We're going to connect the ring terminal onto the battery auxiliary terminal here. The wire with the ring terminal labelled minus is going to go onto the body grounding point here. So we're going to go ahead and undo this nut and put the ring terminal underneath. You'll see there are two other wires in the harness. The white wire is a registry wire that's not required on this connection. The second is a grey wire that can be connected to an on-off switch, either hardwired inside the cab or connected to a wireless remote system. Both are available as optional extras. We're going to mount the module on this nice flat area on top of the fuse and relay box here. What we'll do is we'll put a cable tie underneath, a couple of cable ties, and so it'll be mounted pretty much like that. Just going to go ahead and finish cable tying this down. So it's securely in place on top of the fuse box. Just clip these off. Finally, just got to connect up the module, undoing the clip, being careful to get it into place and clipping it home. The installation is now finished. We've connected the injectors, connected the turbo boost pressure sensor, the 12-volt feed, the body ground feed. We've mounted the module and we've connected it in, so it's ready to switch it on and test it. In order to check the indicator light on the rear of the box, I'm going to have to remove the cable ties and turn the box round. Obviously, normally the box would stay mounted on top of the fuse box and we wouldn't need to remove it. Now we're going to start the engine and we'll be looking for the indicator light on the rear of the module here. And as you can see, the indicator light's now gone to green, which means the module is working correctly. All that remains to do is to refit the engine cover and tighten it down. But as you can see, the Steinbauer power enhancement system is really simple to install. Thanks for watching the video.